Have you ever looked at a lighthouse and thought of it as nothing more than a beacon of safety? A strong, guiding light keeping ships safe in the storm? Well, prepare to have your perception shattered. The world of lighthouses isn't as innocent as it seems. Behind their comforting glow lies a dark history, one filled with secrets that could make your skin crawl. Stick with me, because what you're about to hear will change the way you see these towering structures forever. The solitary guardians of the sea. Picture this. You're standing on a cliff, gazing at a lighthouse, the ocean crashing below. It's peaceful, right? But here's the first truth you should know. These solitary guardians of the sea were once a symbol of isolation, and a dangerous one at that. Most lighthouses were built in remote locations where keepers had to endure harsh conditions for months or even years. These brave souls didn't just keep the lights on. They often faced unbearable loneliness, going stir-crazy without human contact. And the isolation didn't stop there. Lighthouses, for all their beauty, were often built in perilous locations: rocky coasts, stormy seas, and uninhabited islands. That's right, many lighthouse keepers spent their days and nights in near constant danger. Imagine living with the fear that you might never see another soul again. Or worse, that you could become one with the sea without anyone ever knowing. So, what's the real cost of guarding these lights? It was more than just a paycheck. It was often the keeper's sanity and, in some tragic cases, their life. But hang on, we're just getting started. What about the horrifying dark secrets these keepers harbored? Ghosts, tragedies, and the unspoken terrors. Ready to get a little freaked out? Because here's where things get dark. Imagine you're the last one standing at a lighthouse after a storm rips through. The winds howl, the waves crash, and the light flickers. It's in these desolate moments that many lighthouse keepers reported hearing things. Unexplained voices, footsteps, even seeing shadows that weren't there. And it's not just folklore. Some of the most haunted lighthouses in the world are infamous for paranormal activity. From ghostly apparitions of keepers who never made it back to mysterious disappearances. These lighthouses are brimming with stories of tragedy. The most terrifying part? No one really knows for sure if these supernatural events are just folklore or if they're based on something much more chilling. As we dive deeper, you'll start to realize that the very foundation of these structures is built on more than just bricks and mortar. They're built on the wreckage of lives lost, sacrifices made, and horrors that still linger in the air. But here's the kicker. If you think that's the worst of it, you haven't heard the final act yet. The darkest secret of all. What if I told you that the most terrifying secret of all is something you would never guess? The financial instability that plagued lighthouse keepers for decades. Believe it or not, these brave individuals were paid almost nothing for the risk and hardship they endured. Despite being responsible for saving countless lives, many were forced to work without even the basic necessities of life. In fact, some lighthouses were notorious for their abysmally low pay and horrendous living conditions. This financial neglect wasn't just unfair. It was outright dangerous. And here's where the ultimate dark secret comes in. Many lighthouse keepers were driven to drastic measures just to survive. There were stories of them turning to crime, abandoning their posts in desperation, or making deals with the devil just to get by. These individuals became trapped in a system of perpetual debt and despair, without a way out. But the most unsettling part of it all? These secrets were kept hidden for generations, buried under layers of silence and history. Now, let that sink in for a moment. The very institutions that were supposed to guide and protect others were themselves shrouded in fear, pain, and financial ruin. Why you need to know this, and what you can do about it. Now, you may be wondering, what does all this darkness have to do with you? Everything. If you want to build wealth, avoid being trapped in a cycle of financial struggle, and live a life where you can be the one who makes decisions, not someone else's victim. then you have to learn from these hidden truths. The dark secrets of lighthouses show us that, without financial security and knowledge, we're all just one storm away from sinking. Don't let that happen to you. Use these lessons to make wise financial decisions now, so you're never in a situation where you're left stranded in the storm. The power of compounding can change everything for you, and if you want to learn how to harness it for your wealth, don't go anywhere just yet. Click on the next video where we'll dive deep into the power of compounding and how it can turn your financial future into something extraordinary. Until next time, stay wise, stay wealthy, and don't let the darkness catch you off guard.